have Dino up here. So I won't read you the punchline for this one. Figure we'll save something for a surprise. This one will be coming out around October 3rd. Let's see. Phydeaux out over here. And Felicia will still maintain her position in the foreground, fighting with the signature. So this is just to roughly place everyone in their positions. And usually I start with the vanishing points, because I'm a slave to perspective. Go a little bit further. So, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Phydeaux live stream.
Hello.
Another source for bad dog. Go lie down. Okay. Looking at the way this is laid out, we're looking at the back of Beau's head. Yeah, I'm not happy with the layout.
But you're in trouble with that one.
Well, no, this is not the one.
Oh, this is a different one?
Oh, yeah, the one I told you about. Let's put this sucker aside. We read this one to you guys. Oh, actually, we discussed this joke with you last week. Dino and Beau were in the kitchen, and I started by putting together the set through this perspective background. You can see there's a cabinet, sinks over here, more cabinets there. The background is a window, and you see the kitchen table, the dining room table. And I originally had barely see the shadow of it. I originally wanted to have Beau sort of at the sink working, but then the countertop is up by his elbow, up by his armpits. The countertop is entirely too tall. So I redrew him back here, saying, okay, well, we'll have Beau carrying something. But still, the countertops are too tall. Because, and I guess for the size of the countertop I made them, the head would be way up here, behind the word balloon. So I did this drawing, and I'm gonna have to erase the entire thing. Start again. And why bother erasing? I might just rip this up, throw it away, and redraw it. But then, now I'm thinking, am I really married to this joke? Okay, well, here's the joke. Dino and Beau. Dino says to him, it's called Toxoplasma gondii, a brain parasite that the cat gave you that controls your mind. And so you'll do her bidding. That's silly. And the cat walks in and says, I'll have the wet cat food. And Beau says, yeah, okay. See? And look at this. Also, this thing came pre-smeared. This piece of paper had a smear on it before I even did anything. So, do I waste my time erasing everything and redrawing it, or do I just start again? Maybe I'll even come up with a better joke. So, this one has been finished penciled. It's just got to ink it. This one background needs to be inked. This one finished pencil needs to be inked. And background.
You just used a term. I was wondering if you could repeat
What?
in regards to that joke. What did you say about that joke? Are you really what?
I'm sorry. I completely don't listen to myself, so I have no idea what you.
I believe you said something. You wondered if you're completely married to the joke.
Oh. Well, I guess we have to announce that this is our wedding anniversary. Now, if you would have put like little bamboo shoots underneath my fingernails, I might be able to guess how many years. But so off the top of my head, I don't really know. Over 14 because my sister was married for 14 years and I beat her. But not like a competition or anything. No.
No.
16 years?
No, but close.
Oh, well, all right. That would have been my bamboo shoot under the fingernail guess.
Maybe you would have gotten more shoots under your head. 17 years.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that.
We were married when we were 17 years old.
Yes, high school sweethearts. Mm-hmm.
the 20th year of high school. All right, 15, but still.
Well, I did have a couple of years of first grade.
You did, yes. So you said.
Who flunks grade? Well, I couldn't color in the lines. You know, I was colored on signs.
Which is why I'm your colors
Which is why exactly. See how, you know, the teachers told us you had to learn math because you won't have a calculator in your pocket. Well, we've got them wrong. Now they told me I had to color within the lines because I wouldn't have a colorist. Well, I married one. I taught them.
You showed them. No, it also is my cousin's anniversary.
Are we going to go sniffly go off the broadcast again?
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, hold their ears. You don't want to hear this.
Ew.
Yeah, that's good.
Ew.
All right. Now, let's try that again. This will be a sniffle-free broadcast.
Well, I'm over here sniffling too, so.
Yeah, somebody's sniffling was picked up really terrible on Livestream 8.
It had to be you because you're closer.
No, well, actually, this microphone is almost equidistant. Almost, but it's way up high.
Yeah.
It's about 3 feet over my head, even. So our good friends at Disney have made Pinocchio again.
Oh, is Drew Carey Geppetto again?
No, I think Tom Hanks snagged that role.
He's
That
gonna be
prime plum of a role.
He did the Polar Express too, didn't he?
Yeah.
I guess he's a new actor.
Well, is this actually animated or is it live?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm pretty sure they can just. If I were to guess, I would say they CGI'd the puppet.
No, they got a real.
No, they got a real
They
boy.
got a real boy whose nose grows when he lies.
Yeah.
It's a rare condition.
And Robert Zemeckis is the director. Disney.
Stop.
We don't need another Pinocchio. It's not an interesting story. You can't do anything interesting with it.
Oh, it's a cute story.
And what a waste of directorial talent. I haven't seen Disney waste directorial talent since they had my God, I keep on forgetting this guy. Favreau do Lion King.
John Favreau.
Yeah.
Who also did? Your Avengers.
Iron Man.
Yeah, did he do the first
Oh,
Avengers?
probably. No, that was Whedon.
No, it's, oh.
Josh Whedon.
Oh, yeah,
Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
yeah.
I believe. Although, this is the internet. You guys can fact check us. But are we going to run out and see Pinocchio?
No.
No, not interested.
My mother offered to pay for us to go to the movies today for our anniversary, but there was nothing we really prepared to see.
And there's no theater to go to if we wanted to.
Oh, that's true. Our
They
theater-
closed
our theater was-
all of our theaters.
Yeah, that's true. Where is the closest?
I think we'd have to go to Framingham. If they're still open. I don't even know, to tell you the truth.
Is the one in the mall open?
No, nope, that's gone.
That's gone?
The one
Really?
way up in the North Shore, it's gone.
There was a small little theater.
Hollywood Hits gone.
No.
Okay.
The town over from us. I forget what it was called. But I think I'll have to look it up and see if the nearest theater is. I'll see how many miles away is the nearest theater.
It doesn't matter.
No. But now I'm curious. Just doing this short, purely out of my own curiosity. I mistyped. That 2 O's.
Ooh, that's all about cows. That's about cows.
Okay. Movie theaters near us. It's just showing us. Bullet Train's supposed to be pretty good.
What?
But it's with Bullet Train with Brad Pitt.
Never heard of it.
Brad Pitt. I think it's like an undercover or like a sleeper agent thing, but it's a comedy too. Or oh yeah, there's a cinema in the town next door. I don't know how you want to get into where we live.
Nah, don't bother. What are they playing? Not that we're going.
Emily the Criminal
Never heard of it.
and Funny Pages.
What? Never heard of it. What?
Never heard of it.
What are they? Oh, okay. I thought perhaps you could give me a description.
Well, let me look. Emily the Criminal is Emily.
Oh, and let me get you doing a. Oh.
Is saddled with student debt.
Shucks.
Well, not anymore. And locked out of the.
That's it. Joe Biden saw that film and said, well, "We can't turn these student debts into that debt into criminal activity." We must. Wow. Okay, so
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry to cut you off there. Start again.
Emily Aubrey Plaza is saddled with student debt and locked out of the job market due to a minor criminal record. Desperate for income, she takes a shady gig as a quote dummy shopper end quote, buying goods with stolen credit cards supplied by a handsome and charismatic middleman named Yosef Rossi. Faced with a series of dead-end job interviews, Emily soon finds herself seduced by the quick cash and illicit thrills of the black market capitalism, and increasingly she becomes interested in her mentor, Yusuf. Together, they hatch a plan to bring their business to the next level in Los Angeles.
Yeah, especially in Los Angeles. I thought that they just got all their friends together and they ran into the stores and took what they wanted and ran out.
No, anyway. And then Funny Pages is.
Isn't that the way shopping works in Los Angeles these days?
Anyway, and the Funny Pages has no description for it. So.
I guess they are really confident in their film.
Maybe they actually just.
Needs no description.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say? Yeah, Funny Pages. Maybe they actually just put the comics up on the screen.
Can I copyright that?
Sure.
Actually, we created it in front of you.
We created what?
We create the comic in front of you. We don't just
That's
put it up
true.
here.
That's true. So the next largest cinema that they claim was close to us is showing 4 movies. Nope, which I've heard of, but I don't remember what it is. Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. Oh, that sounds.
It's a.
I know. Took me a second to get that was right. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On.
Also another rhyme.
Michelle, yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home, which goes from 2001. 2021. And then that mall that the retreat is open.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow. I've already read the first 5 and I have no idea what they are. 6, no idea. 7, no. Okay, tell me if you've heard of any of these. Oh, wait, we can't talk about it. Oh my god.
Okay, pause on your movie review.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. I've been infected with Toxoplasma gondii, doomed to worship cats. Do you like cats? No? I meant to do this lookup for you all. Y'all. I'm trying to sound folksy, but I'm a Bostonian and we can't be folksy. We're just rude a-holes. Well, apparently we are. Let's go to Wikipedia. Trusted source. At least trusted is. Toxoplasma gondii. T. gondii has been shown to alter the behavior of infected rodents in ways that increase the rodent's chances of being preyed upon by felids and cats. Felid, I gotta remember that word. Felid. That's a funny word. Support for this, quote, manipulation hypothesis stems from studies showing that T. gondii infected rats have decreased aversion to cat urine because cats are the only host of within which T. gondii can sexually reproduce to complete its lifestyle. So anyway, you're saying, what does this have to do with mice? Well, it also works on humans. And it makes humans like cats. Amongst other things. It also causes schizophrenia, mild flu-like symptoms. A number of studies have suggested that subtle behavior or personality changes may occur in infected humans. And infection with the parasite has recently been associated with a number of neurologic disorders, particularly schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. A 2015 study found cognitive defects in adults to be associated with joint infection by both T. gondii and Hyperbacter pylori, a regression model which controls for race, ethnicity, and educational attainment. Although a causal relationship between latent toxoplasmosis with these neurological phenomena has not yet been established. Preliminary evidence suggests that T. gondii infection may induce some of the alterations in the human brain as observed in mice. So, the conspiracy deepens. The great cat conspiracy. Now, before I interrupted you, Vicky, you were talking about movie theaters.
Oh, I've gone out of that.
I'll get back to that.
Okay, hold on. But I got down to like the fifth or sixth movie listed before I recognized the movie at all. So we've got Barbarian. No idea.
I think I heard of that one.
You see this? Is it Nuclear?
No, it's not common. I think it's like a generic either gun fu movie or.
Nope. In Barbarian, a young woman traveling to Detroit for a job interview books a rental home. But when she arrives late at night, she discovers that the house is double booked and a strange man is already staying there. Against her better judgment, she decides to spend the evening, but soon discovers that there's a lot more to there than just the unexpected house guest.
Well, that's not what I expected.
Nope. That's why I read it.
I expected something along the line of a John Wick-like film.
That's why I read it after you said that. Like, nope, there's no pen is off. And this. Okay, I'm gonna so butcher this. If I offend anybody, please forgive me. Bahamastra Part 1 Shiva. Or Shiva. Okay. I call it mistake. You're not bad, people.
Leave the room. She's gonna leave the room.
Yes.
With her mother in a nursing home. Well, that's not really. It's a temporary nursing home. I think they're going to send her home again. Vicky's mother, that is. So I was going to put in the description today that we would not be talking about Star Wars, She-Hulk, Ring of Power, or anything of that sort. We're going to do what the rest of the world is doing and just ignore it. I think that these studios think that we want them to fail. No, we want them to provide good entertainment. We want them to succeed. We want them to make money. My father always had the fear that we've got to support these big budget films or they'll stop making them. In case Amazon, maybe they should stop making them. But she's returning.
So yeah, my brother fell.
In the nursing home?
Well, in a rehab bed. But not a bad fall. She was reaching for something. She's gonna stop reaching for
Yeah,
something.
she's done that a lot.
And
She reaches and then have you ever seen Artie Johnson in Laughing? He'd like be sitting and he'd reach for something and then just slowly continue the momentum in that
that's what she
direction.
did, yes. But this time she didn't go forward. She kind of slipped from the wheelchair. I guess they have her in a wheelchair so she can get out of her room if she wants.
Yeah.
And she landed on her butt, and she's completely fine. But it's protocol that they have to call the family. Tell the family that and let that happen. So.
Yeah.
Which I told her I appreciated it. I said, but you know, I'm glad she's okay. She needs to stop reaching for things.
Well, I knew it was something when they called and they said, your mother's fine, but.
I think they've learned to do that now because I think they probably had several people freak the hell out when it's like, hi, this is so and so from the blah blah blah.
What happened? She did?
That was so creepy the other day when that guy asked if my mother passed. I was like, oh, no. We went and stole food from her apartment. So people were wondering.
We liberated food.
We stole food.
Well, it's only going to go bad.
Actually, no. Yeah, the straws were going to go bad.
We needed straws.
uh,
Kill some turtles.
Don't say that. Anyway, no, my mother wanted us to go into the apartment and obviously take out food that's going to spoil all that sort of thing. So we just, went to the cabinets.
We got a shopping bag and went shopping.
I mean, the majority of the stuff we took were perishable items. It's not like we, took everything. But seeing us walk out of my mother's apartment with, her
Shopping bags.
and our clothes and stuff, I was like,
Did she
did
did?
your mom pass? No, she didn't say she did. She said, did your mom pass?
He
said,
he could have been your new daddy.
let's not put that. I don't know, it's not anyway. So the movies, Mastra Part 1, Shiva, which is an epic story of fantasy, adventure, love, and hope, told using cutting-edge technology, never before seen visual spectacles.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can't even say the title.
No.
Maybe one of the special effects could be a pronunciation of the title.
Well, I'm probably thinking too much of it. It's probably just Brahmastra. Because it's Brahmastra.
Sounds like a foreign film. Is it a foreign film? They did a great job advertising this thing, didn't they?
I don't know. It could be a foreign film, but it doesn't. I don't know anybody in the cast. Ranveer Kapoor.
It sounds like a Bollywood film. Those are Indian names.
Amatba, Baka, Aliba, and Moni Roy.
Oh, Bollywood has invaded America.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like a powerful existence of Austria.
I'm sure they'll have a dance scene.
Oh, well, that's what I mean. White Mark. No idea what that one is.
Science fiction, I would be guessing.
I don't even recognize the actors anymore. That's how bad. That's how old I'm getting. How bad. Absolutely no description for it. That's interesting. Okay. So I guess if you want to know what Black Mark is, you have to look
I would guess science fiction.
No, it looks like just a young teenager with family around him on the cover. So. Oh, this is the cover set.
Well, like
Hope is at the heart of every journey.
so it's not even a John Huston-like film.
Oh, maybe.
16 Candles. You know, they've got her birthday. How, a young man surrounded by his family who doesn't understand him.
Well, that's probably what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, King Wenceslas. Oh, check. That's the next movie. Maybe Medieval is called.
King Wenceslas?
Wenceslas. Wenceslas.
Wenceslas.
You added a couple of vowels in there.
Good King Wenceslas.
That's what I'm saying. Sounds like inspired by the true story of Jan Ziska, one of the greatest warriors in history.
Oh, yes, Jan Ziska. Yeah.
First person that comes to my mind when I think of great warriors. The only person I recognize is
Him and Jan Michael Vincent. Jan Flores. The other great Jans in history. Go ahead.
The only actor I recognize is Michael Caine, who's obviously playing like the old lord. So he's like the elder character.
The Obi-Wan Kenobi, as it were.
Yeah.
Great warrior. War is not what makes one great.
Okay. Unfavorable odds.
Okay, let me guess. Unfavorable odds. It is a movie about gamblers going to Las Vegas, beating the system. Well, how close was I?
Well, okay. I don't know. Who are these people? I don't even know these actors. Seriously, I don't even know these actors. And they look older too. I don't know. Anyway. Robert Wilson is preoccupied presumptuous businessman and husband to his neglected wife Victoria, until he meets what his colleagues and finds his best friend is the playboy, with everything he wants in life, especially any woman he desires. After Brad plays a high-stakes game with Victoria as the prize, he finds himself against unfavorable odds.
Joey Philander is gambling for
Or
sex?
his wife, I guess. I don't know. I'm sorry, I remember. And then we have a movie title that is very easy. It's 3 simple words, but the way they ordered them intentionally is not going to be easy to say.
Okay.
It's After Ever Happy.
Ah.
In other words, happily ever after, but after.
Yeah. I think they got it. Yeah.
Oh, this is the 4th film in the After franchise.
Is it a zombie film?
No.
Oh. It got my hopes up.
I know. Is it a zombie film? No. Tessa and Harding at a crossroads. Yeah, but I have apparently those 2 never been in 3 other movies. So
3 other after films. Okay.
other after films.
So this is the 3rd in the trilogy, and it's the first we're hearing about. Okay.
This is the 4th.
4th in the trilogy. Oh, okay.
It's not the 4th in the trilogy. It's the 4th
Yeah,
in the saga. Or the 4th quadrant.
Well, wait a minute. There are such things as 4 trilogies, because I seem to remember who's doing it. This just happened. Someone just made a 4th in their trilogy.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, man. I'll have to think about it. They actually called it a trilogy. Yeah, yes, it's the fourth film in our trilogy.
Are you sure you're not talking about like Scream or something, or one of those?
No.
Like
It's
it's parody or whatever, not parody, but whatever. So we sticking on this and move to the next one.
oh well. Do we get a description? Or was I just not listening?
You weren't listening.
Oh.
I said it was a fourth, and they were in a crossroads in a relationship.
It had nothing to do with zombies.
No, oh, nothing. The next one is Gigi and Nate. Gigi and Nate is the story of Nate Gibson.
Is it a love story?
Is the story of Nate Gibson, a young man whose life is turned upside down after he suffers a near-fatal illness and is left quadriplegic. Moving forward seems near impossible until he meets his unlikely service animal, Gigi. So it might be a love story.
Yeah, if bestiality counts.
A curious and intellect. No, my brain's trying. Okay. Gigi, a curious and intelligent Capuchin monk.
Monkey. Well, hey, this is looking up. This could be a love story.
I wish I could just get these words out.
Oh, Capuchin's not a word we use a lot.
Intelligent Capuchin. I couldn't say monkey. Although she is trained to assist Nate with his basic needs. Oh. Well, this could get out of this.
Assists, you say.
No. Because the sentence says, although she's trained to assist Nate with his basic needs, Gigi helps Nate find more than what he hopes for.
Love.
Hope. No, she helps him find.
Okay.
Yeah, but still something. Now this one I've heard of. So this is the one that I kind of think I've heard of Gigi and Nate, but I didn't have any idea what it was. This one I've heard of. This one is called Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul. And it is about a televangelist and a scandal. It's a comedy. There's a scandal, but it doesn't say what the scandal is. But now they have to make like a comeback. And, he's trying to
Yeah.
comedy.
Yeah, I could see that. Steve Martin did one where he played a preacher on a traveling road show.
Probably the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is Regina Hall and Sterling K. Brown. So, let's see what great he is. John Boyega.
You mean he has survived his Star Wars experience?
Yep. When Marine veteran Brian Bow.
You ain't gonna Disney Plus
I
him.
think I'm outside of this movie. I think I'm running out of my character limit. Hold on. When Marine veteran Brian Brown Easley is denied support from Veteran Affairs, financially desperate and running out of options, he takes a bank and several of his employees hostage, setting the stage for a tense confrontation with the police, based on a true story. That's a true story. The Invitation. This one I've heard of also, but I can't tell you exactly what it is.
Hit the camera.
A young woman is invited to a lavish wedding at a mysterious mansion in the English countryside, where she's seduced by the handsome and duplicitous host. She soon uncovers his sinister intentions, sending her on a horrific journey of self-discovery and survival.
Here we go. Got the camera adjusted. Important that we.
We got a lot more of these. So I think I'm ready to go. Oh, Jaws! They're actually playing Jaws.
The 1977 Steven Spielberg Jaws?
Yeah.
You mean they haven't remade that one yet?
No. No, this. Oh shit! Wait a minute. It's a remake. No, it's not. It's the real one.
Hey, Steven, I got a great idea. I'll make you a lot of money. What? Remake Jaws. This time, we're going to give the shark more personality. We're going to make a diverse shark.
I was going to say the shark is going to be casted by a jellyfish.
The shark will be a dolphin.
Shark will be a dolphin. Yeah, there you go. Oh my God, they still have, well, not still, but they put back Road One also, and Chanto. Those were wow. Road One was several years ago.
Yeah, that film made no sense, and you could tell it was just hacked together. With okay, we want to show the walkers going through the turf. We want to show that, and it went from scene to scene. And half of the stuff that was in the friggin' trailer never made the film. She's standing on that walkway, and the TIE fighter comes slowly up in front of her. Nope, that wasn't in the film. I rebel. Nope, not in the film.
Oh, so I said that there was that movie Nope that I heard of, but it was couldn't remember what I heard.
Nope.
Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It's the newest movie from Jordan Peele, who did the
Key and Peele.
who did the Get Out and Us was the other movie.
Yeah.
And this actually it has 3 leading stars that they have on here, and one of them is Glenn from Walking Dead. So he's actually like a star in the movie.
Jordan Peele. He's the racist director who's been able to get away with
He's
it.
not so bad actually. It's the other one.
Mm-hmm.
No, Get Out you saw Get Out, didn't you?
Yeah. He does make Spike Lee look like Nathan Bedford Forrest.
Now, this is a movie about where crawdads sing. Sandra told me I should read this book next. I don't know. It's supposed to be really good. It sounds right up my alley, so it's a captivating history.
Where the crawdads sing, you
That's
said.
what the mystery is. Yeah.
Ah.
But again, though, they have all these actresses and actors I've never heard. Although actually, it looks like they have oh my God, what was his name? The guy who shot Wild Bill Hickok in Deadwood. That actor.
Yeah.
Garrett Delhunt. They have him in this movie.
Mentioning Deadwood 2 weeks in a row.
Oh yeah, that's right. We mentioned it last week too. So anyway, that movie theater is a long and short of it.
Yes.
The DC. Here's the bullet train. You hadn't heard of this one, huh?
No.
Okay. Here's the details. Oh.
Great train robbery?
Critics score 54%.
Meaningless.
Audience score 76.
Oh, so the audience likes it more than the critics, so maybe it is.
Pretty good. And maybe they're screwing with the audience score, so it could even be better. Bullet Train, an original movie event. Well, okay.
No, I don't want original. I want derivative, copies,
I'm just
plagiarized.
off to a good start, but okay, you don't want that. You want derivatives and remakes. Okay. Bullet Train is a fun, hilariously action thrilled movie from the director of the Dead.
How do you delirious action it?
I read that wrong. Bullet Train is a fun, hilarious action thriller from the director of Deadpool 2.
Isn't fun rather subjective?
No, it's fun. Brad headlines an ensemble cast of eclectic. My brain. Eclectic, diverse.
It's okay. We know that you're not a out loud reading type. You read silently to yourself, so you could pass over these words quickly.
I do.
Yeah, so don't worry about it. We're not judging you. Go ahead.
A cast of eclectic, diverse assassins, all with connected yet conflicting objectives, set against the backdrop of a non-stop ride through a modern day.
You know, half the problem with what you're reading there, there's no flow to the words.
I know,
This is a horrible writer. He's spitting the words at you like a machine gun out of a typewriter.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean. It's kind of anyway. But it's Sandra Bullock, Brad Pitt, Zazie Beach, Aaron Taylor something, Brian Tracy, Michael Shannon, who played in Boardwalk Empire. And he's also played in a bunch of.
So if you want to learn how to write a review, try iambic pentameter. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Okay?
Oh, and the guy from Heroes is in it. Hero from Heroes.
Oh, Hiro Nakamura. No, Nakamoto. I haven't seen that actor in a while.
I think he's been on like a show that we just don't ever watch. Like I think.
Yeah, there are a few of those.
Those are a lot of them. But like I feel like he's been on shows like consistently working, but again.
Well, another TV show that just disappeared. I liked Heroes. It had particular style to it. It jumped the shark after they killed the cartoonist.
Yeah.
Save the cheerleader, save the world. And that was like the last best role that the Tyler guy got, who later went on to play Spock.
So his name is Masi Oka,
Yes,
the actor.
not Spock, obviously.
Not Spock, no. Phydeaux from Heroes. And it was like been on. He's done Robot Chickens. Oh, he's in Hawaii Five-0, the new Hawaii Five-0. I knew he was on some show. And he was on that movie, or was in that movie The Meg. You watched that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Giant
Yeah. That was the speaking of Jaws. Yeah.
serviceable.
Let's remake another shark film. But yeah, that actually might be a good idea for movie theaters. Play old films back from when we made films.
I have no idea what the usually even if we don't go to one, usually I look to see what's playing in the drive-in. I haven't even looked to see what's playing in the drive-ins over the summer.
The allure of going to a drive-in has sort of subsided for me personally because, well, I'm not an alcoholic anymore. I'm not a drunk. I don't drink alcohol anymore. That's it. I'm an alcoholic. I just don't drink it anymore.
Yeah, but all that aside, you should look just to see, you know what I mean, just to out of curiosity.
Well, we were talking about the guys who own the drive-in not far from where my sister lives. They also run the whole Phantom Gourmet empire. TV show. They haven't made a new one of which for years, but it's still on the air.
They're not open today? Why don't they not be open today?
They're not even trying anymore.
Well, let's not be open on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, they're not open.
Well, I guess they're religious. They want everyone in church. I don't know. Do we still have blue laws in regards to drive-ins?
Oh, Saturday, October 8th, they're playing the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I think I'll avoid that one.
Yeah. $32 for our movie. Wasn't it less than that?
I don't know.
Although you're not getting two movies. So I can't see any movies that are coming up. I could go and find the one on October 8th. So maybe they're canceled. I mean, not canceled, closed already.
I don't know.
It's been a pretty decent summer, so I can't imagine why they'd close.
If this particular drive-in was closer to major cities such as the one we live in, it would be a crime central. But since it's way up there in the boondocks, they don't have. They can get away with just like one police officer detail.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Well, when we've been there, there's been a lot of people, but there's never really been, like you said, there's never really been any issues.
Yeah.
Any problems.
I would be frightened out of my ass to go to a drive-in in the city. I don't even like to see the people drive by on the street. I don't imagine being with behind a fence in a drive-in.
Bon Jovi Drive-In Theater Concert coming to Massachusetts, New Hampshire. What's the year on it? Oh, 21.
You know what I'm doing? I've got these binder clips on the camera, and I keep on hitting the binder clips. Why don't I just
Stop doing that.
just close the binder clip so it never happens again?
Well, that's an idea.
See if we could. I only lost that camera.
You lost the camera?
No, camera's still here. Make sure. Yeah. Now, who says we don't have camera movements? See, call that a dolly shot.
Dolly.
Yeah. That's a dolly shot, what you just saw there. That movement. It's called the elbow hit.
So did you see that they are driving the Queen's body? That's trying to think of a better way of saying that, the Queen's coffin, all through her territory.
So she's
It's
doing.
like a 6-hour ride.
So they've got her on tour.
But it doesn't look like, but it's not open or anything. It's just.
So how do you know she's in there?
You don't. Could be all loose.
I have a clip.
You have a what?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing Baldric from Blackadder. I have a clever plan.
I have
A ruse. We'll tell everyone the Queen's in there. What do they know?
But it doesn't look like people. I mean, they're literally going like through the countryside. It doesn't look like people are up there like standing waiting to see it or anything. It just looks like it's some sort of ceremonial type thing.
I meant to make this mention. I am Charles L. Croce III, and my my grandfather Charles Croce I claimed English ancestry. Apparently, we're related to the Clan Mackay in Scotland. So, one of the races I shall claim as mine shall be the British race, the English race, the love for the United Kingdom and all. And new king is Charles III. Not only a nice name, but the perfect suffix. What can I say? All right. That's smear territory over there. I'm going to get away from that. We're in Boston here. We're the first city to throw the monarchy out of the United States. However, I'm pretty sure that both my and my wife's family were Tories. I can only surmise that by a few bits of detective work. Well, her people are more or less from Nova Scotia, and all of the Tories, Newfoundland, Newfie, all of the Tories who fled Boston with the Redcoats ended up in Newfoundland. Not evidence that her ancestors are Tories, but I could guess it. And I come from the long line of rogues and scoundrels, as I've mentioned. And while I can tell that we had some past in the abolitionist movement, I'm pretty sure we also were supporters of the crown.
I believe I've been told that my grandmother did not like English.
Well, they were, yeah, that was because she was Irish.
No, my grandmother on my mom's side.
Oh, okay.
But I could be wrong. I think my grandmother on my mother's side.
Didn't like the English. What's not to like?
I know.
English are wonderful people. Bad teeth, but wonderful.
I mean, I could be wrong about that, but I feel like that's something I've heard over the years, and I don't know why.
If I touch anything here, I'm just going to smear. So I'm going to let that sucker dry.
No, my grandparents on my dad's side were gone before I existed.
That one needs to be finished. And I can do some inking on this sucker. I don't think I've read this one to you guys. Dino Bone on the couch. Dino says, "That's it. I'm getting rid of the cat litter box. We can't have brain parasites in that." And he steps on the bottle, slips, falls. And Felicia is here. "Can I use that when you're done?" Having fallen face first in the cat litter box. Hardest part of drawing this one is what fall would lead him to fall face first in it. Because usually you slip on a ball, you fall backwards, and the litter box will fall on top of you. I wanted the box to land flat on the ground so the cat could still theoretically say, "Hey, can I use that?" As everything's still intact, and then just dunk Dino's head in it. So the weight of his body is leaning forward. You can almost imagine he steps on this bottle, that his foot flies up from behind and lands on the floor like that. I even think about the physics in cartooning. You got to sort of make it believable. And also, I generally have my characters' faces. My characters' faces have no trouble protruding into the word balloons, like in this particular case. But in this panel, Bo is shoved behind the word balloon because it's not really necessary that he is engaging in the foreground as it is now. It's Dino who's doing all the action. But I have him looking here because now he's going to be the witness to the actual event. It was a judgment call. I could have just closed up over his hair. Would make no difference. But by allowing the character to penetrate the word balloon, you make the audience pay attention to them. Well, that's what I'm thinking anyway. Let's see. Well, almost an hour. Wow.
Yeah. It's almost one.
You hyphenate intermission. You do it between the two S's, don't you? For some strange reason, I wanted to do the ION. Oh, well. Bad hyphenation there. Hey, you guys keep an eye on my glove? Look how nice and clean it is. See? Wonder how I have so many smears. Glove is covered in. Talk amongst yourselves.
Discussion for the intermission. I don't know. How is everyone?
Great movie theater.
Reviews? I don't know. And Meta went silent. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. Okay, the Gigi and Nate movie has 14% critics, 94% audience. That is crazy. What do they say? Let's see. Wow. I'm trying to find the positive reviews. I think you can find positive ones. The courtroom drama completely undoes the whole thing. It's just completely contrived. Well, yeah, it's a movie. So did you get that, Charles?
Yeah.
14% critics, 94.
Wait, again, we're doing Rotten Tomatoes here. Rotten Tomatoes is not a legitimate website. They're shills. They're poor.
I know, but you would think that they would try to make the watchers, whatever that, the audience review lower than. I mean, they're keeping it at 95%. So I mean, was it even 100% maybe? I mean.
So under the assumption that it's about 1 o'clock, today we have Partake. It's a non-alcoholic IPA. Partake's IPA balances citrusy hops with a subtle malt backbone. It's like bubbly body and dry finish, making an all-day sipper that packs an incredible amount of flavor. So yeah, I drink non-alcoholic beer. Why? Because it makes me happy.
And what do? We make you happy.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Got a bit of a head,
Yeah.
disappearing quickly. It's got a nice hoppy aroma. Does have that bitterness. You would almost think you're drinking.
Oh, Pinocchio is live actually.
Ah. Sì, la gloria cubana.
So is this still considered intermission? You still have to sign up.
Excuse me?
You still have the intermission sign up. Is this still considered intermission?
Not working.
Oh, okay.
Every time I get up, it's like, oh.
That's what happens after you pass 50.
I'm gonna send this glove to the laundry. Yeah. Before, after. I think I forgot that I'm right-handed.
Oh.
I just put the glove on my left hand.
You just wanted to be Whoa.
Well, let's see what else is happening in the world. Kevin Smith has decided to has put up Clerks 3. Clerks. Clerks 2 I saw while you were in the hospital getting your knee replaced. It was the funniest film I ever saw. I was alone in the theater. I was laughing. Now, true, the films don't really stand up today. A lot of the stuff that was hilarious back then is not as funny anymore. I love Kevin Smith films, the USQ University, Dogma, work of art. Jason Amy, yeah, okay. Jay and Silent Bob, enjoyable. And since the internet era, like Kevin Smith has taken a knife to his audience.
True, very true. He's betrayed the nerd culture.
The nerd culture that he just about created. I mean, the idea of arguing real life situations with fictional characters was his bread and butter. And he has attacked the people who are doing just that sort of thing. I miss Kevin Smith. I miss it when Kevin Smith was cool.
I do too.
I understand he just wants to make films. He just wants to be a Hollywood douchebag. I understand.
But I don't. Because that's not who he was. Well, that's not who he claimed to be.
So, would you do the honors, and since you're on Rotten Tomatoes, of looking up Clerks 3 for me? I'm pretty sure it's got a fantastic.
You know, I didn't even see it on any of my, when I was looking at the movie theaters and all that stuff, the movies coming up, the list of movies, I didn't even see it.
Yeah, it'd be very difficult to actually find this film. But I've heard it was out, and I already know what the reviews are. But I'd like to
Okay.
allow you to.
Well, this is surprising.
Mhm.
The critic score
Mhm.
is 69%.
Yeah.
And there are no audience scores reported as of yet.
Yeah, they're doing that a lot. They're holding the audience scores because they're afraid the audience is going to be, well, they claim trolls and other nefarious double dealers are trying to hurt Mr. Smith, or in this case, in other cases, Disney, Paramount.
All of them.
All of them, yeah, more or less. The critic score they can manipulate, and the audience they can sometimes manipulate, but not as easy. Excuse me, not as easy to manipulate the audience as it is the critics score. I don't even know why we bother with these sites anymore for honesty. So, you say it's doing fine with the critics?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Clerks 3 was still on. You say they're doing fine with the critics?
Yeah, 16 as well. 69%. I apologize. I actually pulled up the Clerks 3 trailer and was watching that.
Oh.
So I was listening to you. Sorry.
Oh no! Actually, I want to hear what you've got to say about it. What?
Well, I haven't finished. I just started.
Oh! Go ahead. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, watch it. I want to hear. exactly your impression. We can wait.
2 minutes long.
Yeah, I guess by what? Oh my God! I just noticed. This is not something I wanted to do. I'm coloring in Beau's shirt black. I mean, I don't really want him to have Dino wearing black because then it would. Well, they're dressed alike now. Oh well. I guess I got to go with it. They're wearing each other's clothing. Think of them as like Ernie and Bert, okay? It's innocent. But geez, Charles, Ernie and Bert didn't wear each other's clothing. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's the sort of real world application to fictional characters that Kevin Smith used to be famous for.
Okay, you know what?
What?
Kind of funny.
A funny trailer. I think I heard, I'm not sure, but I've heard that these Kevin Smith films are supposed to be funny. But hey, don't quote me on that.
Well, it's very much Kevin Smith. So I mean, there's no doubting it's any other writer of this movie. But
You mean it has all the style and quality of He-Man?
older Kevin Smith.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I always thought that this is teaching me something this trailer.
Uh-huh.
I always thought that Kevin Smith considered himself the Dante character. Or parts of the Dante character.
Uh-huh.
Apparently he's the Rambo character.
Well, yes, he's the smooth, suave, perfectly fit, not overweight at all. One.
Because it looks like this movie's meta, in a way, or whatever that term
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Because Randall has a heart attack.
And Kevin Smith has had one. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So Randall has a heart attack, and he says he thanks Randall for saving him. But he says,
Randall has had a heart attack and
I mean-
thanks Dante for saving him.
yes,
Mhm.
he thanks Dante for saving him. But he says he doesn't have a life that was worth saving. So Dante talks him up and is like, oh, I always thought you could make a movie and blah, blah, blah. So he decides to make a movie about his life.
Can I pause you there for a moment? So, the only way that anyone can do anything positive on this planet is if they make a film. Okay.
No.
What?
He doesn't- Well, I don't think he's trying to make, I don't think he's saying he doesn't have a life worth living
Mhm.
because he wants to change the planet. I think he's just saying, I haven't really done anything. So if I make a movie,
Well, arguably, we can say it's something you always wanted to do
create it.
because he worked in the video store.
Yeah, and create it. Although I don't remember him ever saying anything about making movies, but anyway. And it looks like basically it's a Clerks version of talking about every movie Kevin Smith's ever made. So they're remaking the original Clerks,
Uh huh.
but as a new movie.
Okay.
But it's kind of funny. It has a couple of cute moments in here.
So do they make fun of Dogma? Do they say anything about any of the
I
other?
didn't hear anything about Dogma, but they do
Jade
the
Silent
classic.
Bob? Go ahead.
They do mention Jade and Silent Bob a couple times, but they said that Jade and Silent Bob are the R2D2 and C3PO of the movie. They've been there since the first of the Star Wars saga. They've been there since the first one, and that was the last time they were cool. But they show up in every other one and occasionally on some lunchboxes.
Wow.
I'm not doing it justice.
No, I get the joke.
And then they do something at the end where they have the scene where Randall gets shot, but Randall playing Randall, no, I'm saying Randall, Dante. When Dante gets shot, but Dante's playing Dante or watching the play, and Dante's like, "Why would you shoot me? Maybe there's going to be a sequel." And you see Kevin Smith as Jade and Silent Bob looking like because it wasn't the original ending of Clerks. He got them.
Yeah. They included that in the extras on the DVD.
Yeah.
Which we have.
We do have that.
That's how big of fans we were of Kevin Smith. And we have Dogma on DVD.
I thought you were going to say that's how old we are.
Hmm.
We don't have the Clerks 2 movie, do we?
No.
But you
I think we were just transitioning out of DVDs at that time.
You were so you liked that movie so much that I think the day after I got out of rehab, we went to see it.
Yeah, it works.
Rehab, physical rehab, not rehab for any kind of.
Yeah, she got a knee replaced. It was worth seeing again.
Yeah. Actually, I think we went.
How many Kevin Smith films are worth seeing again? Well, actually, all of them are worth seeing.
All of them are.
Yeah, even though the humor doesn't really translate.
The last one was kind of a little. The last Jade Silent Bob's kind of a little.
Yeah, with the kid, Harley, his daughter,
Yeah.
sort of. Well, she wasn't the best thing in the film. I'll leave it.
I know, but I don't even think she was even the problem with the film. They were like running around trying to find people. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would see this. I don't know how I like it, but I would see this if it's available to be seen. I don't think I'm gonna go to the theater and watch it, but if it shows up on one of the things we have, I'd watch it. I have to say, not in this close-up, but in the movie itself, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes were pretty good for their ages. They're kind of both 50, if not almost 50, right?
Yeah. No, they're older than us. They're much older.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Shoot all of it?
Sure. Really interesting that in this day and age where streaming services are dying for content, none of them have picked up the Kevin Smith film.
Well, it's still in theaters. And I think actually, didn't Kevin Smith make a big deal that it was going to be in theaters?
He just can't get any theaters to carry them. And we just went through an entire list of theaters that looked like dying to find something to play.
I know they're playing Jaws.
They played Jaws again. Oh, I think Jaws is a good film, so I can see why that's actually a very good idea to play films like Jaws. But
I know that was a bad example.
But no, but I know what you're talking about. I get what you're pointing out. The theaters look like they're starving for content, and yet they still won't pick up the Kevin Smith film.
Kevin Smith, born in 1970.
Oh, he's a couple of years in correction.
And Jason. Jason Mewes was born in 1974. He's only 48. He's not even 50 yet. Those are some hard 48 years ago.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are bad. But he's been.
Allegedly.
No. He says he's had.
Oh, okay.
But
you don't want to get in trouble.
No. But he's been been sober for a while now, I think.
Yeah, it's actually Mr. Smith who's gone in the other direction, huh?
Well, Mrs. Smith got into marijuana
Before it was legal.
Yeah, allegedly. I don't even remember who made that. Who did we listen to who made that joke? And Kevin Smith was looking at Jason Mewes after all those
It
years.
might be film threats. He was on Attack of the Show.
Chris Hardwick?
It might have been Chris Hardwick.
Oh, it could have been Chris Hardwick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that makes sense. Because that was around the time when we heard it.
Yeah.
I miss his show. I like Anthony Knight.
Okay, that's the wrong guy then. Who is the?
Daniel Tosh.
No, again wrong. We just saw him with Mahler and Chris Gore. Chris Gore.
Oh, I don't know if it was Chris Gore, was it?
I think it was Chris Gore who made that observation.
Anyway, the observation was that Kevin Smith had been watching Jason Mewes after so many years and finally said,
But-
"Oh, looks like fun."
Actually, I thought the observation was, wouldn't it be funny if after all these years trying to get Jason Mewes straightened out, Kevin Smith suddenly went that direction?
Oh, that was before.
Yeah.
But no. Somebody made a joke after.
Mm.
Because remember they said Kevin bought like a giant screen TV
Yeah.
and was just smoking marijuana, looking at the TV like, man, that's like life size.
Mm.
Oh, I should remember who that was. Now I want to look up and see if At Midnight's on anything. I would rewatch some of those.
That's funny. You would rewatch something like At Midnight, and that was an internet clip show showing like old internet things, and yet that would still entertain you. Where like anything done modern would not.
Maybe I'm just getting old.
Yeah, you're going for
But it
nostalgia.
was the interaction though too, and they were very funny. Some of the things they would say about the stuff was funny. So it wasn't just like clip after clip. And there was a game show aspect to it. You know, you got points and stuff. I don't know. Anyway.
Talk about nostalgia bit. Sorry, I'm going to change the subject a little bit here. I saw this American Crime Story thing where they were talking about the impeachment of Bill Clinton. Wow, the nostalgia that brought up, the happy day, the good old happy days of the idea that we could hold a president responsible for his crimes. It was, and now looking back at it with fresh eyes today, knowing that every little cookie jar that their fingers were caught in, none of it was ever going to go to anything. They'd get away with robbing the White House, stealing the furniture. They would get away with everything right down the line. There was no hope whatsoever of any justice ever touching anyone with the name Clinton. And the nostalgia that just washed over me and the warm feelings of those happy years when I was so innocent. I highly recommend it for anyone. The whole Monica Lewinsky story. It was told from Monica's point of view, and they have her friend. My God, I should remember all the names. Vince Foster's secretary. Whatever. Good time. Brought warm, happy feelings to me. Could I ever be that innocent again? You know, the cigar that Mr. Clinton used was an Hoyo de Monterrey Excalibur, which was the cigar I smoked at the time, and I stopped smoking them. The New York Times never reported the story of what President Clinton did with that particular cigar, but they did run an editorial cartoon because, well, at the time when he was doing that with the cigar, he was supposed to see Yasser Arafat. So he had a meeting with Yasser Arafat. So the New York Times ran a cartoon where Bill is like running out into the rose garden where Yasser is waiting for him, and hey Yasser, have a cigar. Very funny political cartoon for the time. And that's the only mention in the New York Times of any of that tobacco abuse. I wonder if there's anyone out there who's saying, what do you do with a cigar? The worst things imaginable, people. The worst things imaginable. Yep, the vast right-wing conspiracy that Hillary spoke of came to nothing. What's so funny? Not bad beer. So what's so funny?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I found it at midnight.
Oh. Is it new or is it just the old stuff?
No, it's the old ones, but I hadn't seen this before, I don't think. This is the last episode, and it's the hashtag war, the end all hashtag wars.
Yeah, I think they stopped making that TV show because it was too expensive.
Maybe.
I wonder what Mr. Hardwick's doing these days.
Chris Hardwick?
Yeah.
Well, he's finishing out the Walking Dead thing. The Talking Dead thing that he was doing.
It's still Walking Dead is still in the air.
Yes, it's the last season. I think we talked about this last week.
Did we?
I think so.
Mm.
And he just had, well, he didn't have a baby, but his wife just had a baby. And I think he goes on tour a little bit. He has a stand-up act. But she is Lydia Hearst, and she is worth billions of dollars.
Oh, so he doesn't have. So he doesn't have to work. Yeah. He's going to be doing like the opposite of George Carlin. George had to work because he had to pay his taxes. He needed the money. Hardwick doesn't have to work. Just saw a thing on the internet. It's on YouTube now of George Carlin has a young clean-cut man on the Jimmy Dean show. I guess the guy who makes sausages had a TV show. And I don't know how Mr. Dean ever got a TV show because he's just from the tiny little clip we got, he's a terrible host. Let me replay the scene for you. It's a typical Tonight Show like set where he's got the chairs and he's sitting there talking to the audience, homespun way, talks about this great comedian and brings him out, and at that point, the host, let's say the Johnny Carson-like character, the Jay Leno-like character, will do a little interview, talk to the guy, and that would lead to the guy telling his jokes. Well, Jimmy Dean knew that George Carlin had a bit about a newsreader, and rather than leading into any clever segue, he just asked George if he's listened to the news today. And George says, well, yeah. In fact, I've written a little thing here. And he actually pulls out a piece of paper, puts on his glasses, and he reads his bit. George had yet to find his voice. You wouldn't recognize him. But anyone who gives Jimmy Fallon a hard time for doing a bad job at his show, he was much better than Jimmy Dean. He is much better than Jimmy Dean ever was at that talk show job. It's all in survival prejudice. Everyone says, oh, things were much better back in the old days. That's just because only the good stuff has survived to today. There was still plenty of shit on the air back then. It just didn't survive. We don't see it anymore. I guess Chris Hardwick is doing a good job. This is pretty close to how things usually are around here. I'll be working, and suddenly I hear from the background a titter of laughter. I know she's listening to something online. Do I ask what it is? No, not really.
I'm sorry, I went down a rabbit hole.
That's fine. One, two, three whiskers on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4 whiskers on the right, and they should be lifted up a little bit because she's asking a happy question. It's good that Felicia is more than happy to let someone share her litter box with her. I don't even like people using my bathroom. It's funny, I won't do toilet humor, but I'll do litter box humor. Cats are evil. I do like to have a box of poop in my house. I assume this is the clumping form of kitty litter. Stuff that when it gets wet, it just clumps together so you can scoop it up easy. So that any sort of wet spots on your body would clump you. So if he's sweating on his forehead, before he gets the stuff on his forehead, might have some tear duct work here, which is why it's on his cheeks. Act like I thought this stuff out. But you do want to get the completely disgusting nature of it as close to his mouth as possible. So how many of you out there are wondering how long that ash is going to grow? Cheers. Yes, our house is constantly filled with laughter. And with the bottle spinning off in the corner here. And yes, these are Chuck Taylor sneakers. The new ones, not the old ones. Was it Nike who took over the Converse Chuck Taylor design? And they actually improved upon the sneaker without destroying it. The old ones were just these canvas things, with just a piece of rubber on the bottom. The most simplest sneaker in the world, the original basketball sneaker, as it were, before they became these high-tech pieces of equipment that the Air Jordan is today. But they made the canvas padded a little bit. Made it a little bit more quality product. They did a pretty good job with it, if I do say so myself. It's
I have gone so far down the rabbit hole.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm discussing sneaker technology
Oh,
now.
I thought you said fifty.
No, nope, not talking to you. She's got headphones on.
I have headphones on because
Yeah, I know. I don't care. I don't care that you have headphones on. I don't care that you're.
in the audience because I don't have regular listening.
I don't care that you're off on your own. You can have your own life. I'm here with the audience. I'm here with this camera I keep on hitting. But yeah, the Chuck Taylor is just a fashion thing now. It's not a practical piece of footwear. But Nike's made it a little bit more practical. One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if I were to have done this again, I would not have done both shirt black. I just wasn't thinking. Bo's the only character in the comic strip whose clothes actually change. Part of the character of Dino is he's unchangeable. He's incapable of change. So he wears the sweatpants and the black T-shirt every day, except for when he doesn't have a choice at work. He wears the henchman outfit. Barely. Okay, that's the characters done on that one. Now, particularly since the blacks here are highly likely to switch, I'm going to put this sucker aside to dry. We'll work on the next. A little bit too much weight for that magnet. Okay, this is going to require some finished penciling, and that requires some rough penciling. Do we do brush maintenance?
Bob Odenkirk on at midnight.
Before Saul.
Yeah.
I'm going to forego the brush maintenance for the moment. This is the Friday, September 30th. They find themselves in a bar. And completely unrelated to the actual storyline here. Right now I'm drawing the Canadian geese And Phydeaux. It's his strip. He's got to be in it. Even if he's completely unrelated to the storyline and the joke at the time. Phydeaux's drinking his soda. In this case, I think it's Pepsi. He's part of the Pepsi generation. How many people know this, but Pepsi's chief competitor is not Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola and Pepsi do not fight for the same audience.
They don't.
They do not. Despite the whole
What does Pepsi fight with?
Pepsi fights with
Oh,
other beverages. Oh, what's
it
that?
was during Better Call Saul.
Really?
Yeah, because one of the oh no, it might have been during
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
You forget Breaking Bad is almost 20 years ago, isn't it?
Okay. They just asked Bob Odenkirk. By the way, how did the first season of Better Call Saul end?
Oh, okay.
So
Oh, never mind. When I'm doing an oval, I like to be able to plant my hand on the table so I can make it proper. If I were to try to do the oval this way, I've got to move my hand to make that circular movement. That's why I turned the paper on the side so I didn't have to move my hand. It ensures that I get the sort of oval that I want to get. So we start with an establishing shot, far away, from the main characters, you know what's going on in the background, tell everyone where they are in the world. In this case, they're in the bar. Then in the second panel, when we get into the prestige, the setup, we can zoom in on the two main characters, forgetting what's going on, but you still know the world. I continue that same framing as if the camera had never moved. And then in the end, we can zoom back out to see the world again. And in that case, we get to see Phydeaux fighting with the goose. Visual storytelling. Most other comic strips would just have 4 of this panel. Bing, bing, bing. You see, like the Peanuts. Charlie Brown and Linus would be just talking, leaning on the wall. Very simple. Visually, it worked. You didn't need the distractions. But I'm kind of in the same frame of mind as the Zucker brothers, the makers of the movie Airplane, when there's some expository dialogue going on in the foreground. I like to have something going on in the background that upstages the main. Action. His elbow disappears beneath that bar. So, yeah. Tell me to do so when I ink it. I'm thinking the glass, he's holding the glass, so it's got a slight tip to it. Glasses, yeah. The character just sort of and the eyelids. This as if he's just, well, I guess that's it then. He's sighed. Now, Bo's more or less a straight right here. Whether he will, well, I probably will have the top of his head dip into the word balloon. I'll keep the audience looking at him because he's the audience. Dino's the clown of the strip in this particular one. That's an ambulance, something. She's laughing at the.
Just shut up, just as you said there.
Oh, I thought you were laughing at the Chris Gore thing. Ambulance. Ambulance. That word got my Boston accent going. He's being slightly over dramatic here. Be sure not to draw a tongue here. I don't like how the colorist does tongues. Don't say that too loud. A little bit of the air poked off on that side. Looks like those glasses a little bit large. Measure it next class. About the same. Okay. Never mind. I assure you, she's not laughing at anything we're doing. That beer goes right through you.
Oh, another we should have an intermission song. It has to be unique, so we don't have to pay royalties.
They'll just have your sticker
laughter in the background.
Well, I just typed in at midnight, just on Google, and it was like, oh, they have a lot of clips. So, sorry, been going down that rabbit hole, rewatching a lot of these. So, if anybody has an idea for a highly original intermission song, please put it in the comments. You don't like what? Music? Oh, never mind. Don't do anything about a song. Just a joke, really. Let's,
I'm a Phydeaux, no one should terrorize the neighborhood.
we're gonna get flagged for that. How about a final rap? Your favorite type of music?
You know, this is a good time to discuss the proper brush maintenance. I left this one wet.
Ooh,
Use a light dish soap,
like dip
Dawn.
show?
Yeah, like Dawn or Palmolive, and warm water. And after you successfully clean the brush, you go to your wife's right arm, not her left, but right forearm, and you hit it a few times just to get the wetness off. You,
Just get the last of the ink off.
yeah, you have to hit your wife's right arm with the brush. And see, that gets it back to a point.
The left arm would be terrible.
Well, you know, she's right wing. See, there are no accelerants in cigars, so it will go out. Not like a cigarette will burn down your house. I just, once again, thank you to the good people at Mitsubishi for their fine pencils. And World War II would not have been the same. I think it's his diagram.
Just to show a little bit of interest.
It's like a John Belushi, you know. Small mouth. Almost like one of those disbelieving faces. Do you like cats? The neck going back. So in that case, this hand is sort of gripping into the bar. Collar back. And so that shoulder will be up as it's resting on the bar. Collar's behind that shoulder. Again, as we mentioned, Beau's the only one who changes his wardrobe. In this case, he just has a button-down collar shirt. Could be flannel. It has been in the past. that all depends upon what the chief colorist feels like doing. I give her no restrictions, wardrobe-wise. He could be wearing a pink shirt for all we know. And he has. Slightly spaced eyes here. And if he's just realizing something, even smaller mouth, it's like, no. I think we nailed the expressions. But if you don't think I've nailed the expressions, please email me at drawyourowngoddamncomic.com. And this goes, Dino's glass is much too large. Phydeaux, no one should terrorize the neighborhood. Phydeaux just won't be undone, playing pranks on everyone.
Uh-oh, now that's near him.
Nail worm. All right. And now we pull back the camera out again to show. All right, now the goose has Phydeaux's Pepsi. And Phydeaux's going into full combat. Got his paw around the goose's neck. I think the idea of if he's got the goose by the neck, squeezing, Pepsi won't be able to go down his throat. And we'll have feathers flying. And one pinky up in the air. Since he's drinking, gotta do a tongue. Slight quizzical to the eyebrows. I big smile. And he stood up. Bar stool tipped over. Bar stool tipped over on the ground. All right, that's going to be done with a little while. All right, that's done. So remember a few weeks ago I said we were going to be cutting this into clever segments. Since we reached the 2-hour point, not a bad idea to show you where the writing's going on this. Maybe. No. Okay, here's all this stuff that I did this week. But the future of this storyline, which we may or may not use. So I get a Fox Mulder-like character, which I've used before, Agent Bob from Force, which is the Federal Office for Regulation of Cat Enterprises. You're Dino. Yeah, Agent Bob from Force, Federal Office for Regulation of Cat Enterprises. And the government knows all about it. Talks about Plasma Gandhi, the mind control parasite the cat is using. Yeah. Why aren't you doing something about it? And the last panel, Dino's sort of in a tied up in a cell, chains on him. We are. He's arrested. Again, probably not going to use this, but then you know how the storyline's going. The cat boss comes to the rescue. Cat boss. Agent Bob, I believe you have one of my... Again, Agent Bob, I believe you have one of my henchmen. And Bob says, oh, gee, Cuddles, let us have him. That's Cat Boss to you. Return him immediately. Oh, darn it. Dino says, gee, thanks for saving me. And Cat Boss says, nobody plays with my toys but me. So if we ever continued the storyline, the government kidnaps Dino and imprisons him, and the cat boss rescues him. But we're probably never going to use that. It probably ends here. I just liked the joke where, you know, like, nobody plays with my toys but me. And Agent Bob, oh, come on, Cuddles. Can we have Cat Boss's real name? For those of you who might know, is Cuddles. He changed his name. As do all villains. You know, Bill Clinton's real name was Blythe. Adolf Hitler's real name was Stickelgruber, something like that. Stickelgruber. Yes, did I just compare Hitler with Clinton? Hey, we're talking about Hitler again.
Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm just saying. You're gonna get flagged.
Why does it always go to the Nazis? I don't get it. Yeah, I just don't like that last panel because we're looking at the back of Bo's head. Okay. We'll do just a side on. Hey, we usually start these things with erasing. We'll end them. Put that cigar away. Now, table will be about that high. And since Dino is the main character answering the joke, he's right here. In this case, we're going to have the cat back turned to us, but we can have her turn profile. So it might work after all. Let's see how everyone sticks together here. Okay, the table. Let's see, the bottom is there. So the chair would be about that height. Dino's butt would be about there, so he's really scrunched down. I might have to make him smaller. Yeah, head looks too big here. Let's get the tables and chairs set first. Then we'll decide what the character looks like. Let's see, the table should be about that wide. The show's that funny. How did it ever get canceled? Let's do the vanishing point right in the center here at Phydeaux. So we're a slave to perspective. Perspective really actually helps you out with where the character is going to be placed. And that looks about right. Let's not forget these tables, which I always get. Now, Phydeaux's side chair here. It's got a slight angle to it. Look, the high chair, but it'll probably mostly disappear because Felicia's isn't down here. Her right chair. So we'll say it starts about there. Now that's the front leg. Now perspective help. Yeah, perspective helps you a little bit. Seats up here. No, I don't even. Now I'm gonna draw the front leg because now I know where this leg ends. We'll just put a big cat button there. Not to draw anything else. As predicted, her head is in a completely obscure Phydeaux high chair. That now is obscure in the bottom leg. The only leg with Phydeaux high chair, that part of the arm, that part of the leg. But I had to draw anyway, so I would know where everything is. That I thought was kind of cute. She's got a piece of glass stemware where her food is being served. Fancy feast commercial where they show the person serving their animal the food in a fancy glass stemware. Well, she's a cat. She'd eat out of a bowl like a dog would. And actually, this works good because if I don't Felicia's faces, both close together. The joke being Dino's the only one who tried both dog and cat food. Like the comparisons and all right, now let's continue drawing the chair so that we can decide where the rest of him it is. That's not be shown. Chair would be about right there. And height-wise, about die. So, butts pull forward here. Knees there. Let's give him a slight man spread. He's sort of sitting back in the chair. Shoulder, arm, out, and the table. So his head would be about that big. Small mouth. Let's not forget, plate. And I think I've shown that he's got like a piece of bread or something on it. Yeah, something square on his plate. Maybe he's got like a cheese sandwich. What that look? Look, he had his hand up on his chin like he's. No, there he is. we'll do. Cheese sandwich. No. Maybe. I'd stick with that. I'm not married to it. All right, Beau's head. A little bit taller. You see, right there. He's really out of the action here, but he's still a whisk. And upward and back there. He's going to have his feet go back into the chair. Not that big. The shoes there. I think we've already established his sleeves are. Oh no, sleeves are rolled down. All right. I thought his sleeves were rolled up in this one. All right. Now, in the real world, the board would be back here. Completely disappears in that line. No. All right. And that's the world. Works a little bit better. And kind of pulling out more of the first panel. You show the establishment shot. It's another establishment shot because they've changed location. And then the prestige. And you show the close-ups. And we pull out in the end. So yeah, it works in the room. Iambic pentameter. Da-dum. All right. Worked that problem out. Now, why did I split the dialogue balloons here? Because it was getting worse. If I did it all in one balloon, it'd be too much to read. But you do it in two balloons. I don't know. No, we need much of this stuff. Please saying both of those. With looking kind of depressed down at what's going to have to eat today. And already, he's picked up the thing and he's looking at it. So he just tosses it back down on his plate and he's looking at it. Dog and the cat are discussing what they're eating. I think I might use. See, I got Beau using a hand gesture. Dinner time. Thumb. That's probably why I might use the pointer finger here. Cat food. See, it's poetry. It rhymes. All right, it's something George just said. Oh no, I mentioned in Star Wars. Two things you can't get away from in this. Star Wars. All right. I don't really have Monday this week. Got Monday, Thursday, Monday 26th. Actually, that's doesn't have date. I might actually add in. We haven't decided what we're going to do with this one. Remember, we opened with this. I told you about how I made the countertop too tall. The characters themselves should be up like big now. But, yeah. I had to do it right. So why don't we move? Well, Dean, what would be about this tall standing here, well, almost into the second hall. I move all of this lettering over the side. And where do I go and bring Dean? Could have Dino sitting on the bar stool over here. That's I'm trying to rescue you. This yeah, rescue this worthless little drawer in there. When what I should just do is start over again. Fresh piece of Bristol board with no smears. You'll note. See, that started out with some smear. It was. The edge was rolling up, so I was having trouble seeing the little tick marks I use for lettering. Oh, let's get that hair off. Let's start the comics calibrate. This saves me from having to measure. Each panel is 4 9/16 wide, 5 1/13 high. We're using imperial measurements because two types of people in this world: those who use metric, and those who walk on the moon. All right, and we got a nice little handy notch here that helps me. That's fine. No rule is necessary. It's a runner. Oh, you can actually see what's going on in there, can you? Yeah, well, right there, you can see we got a lip on the edge of the drafting board that this runs on. I assume everyone knows what a drafting board like, but maybe not. And now that we've already done the lettering on this, we know exactly how much space it will take up. First panel is 2 lines. Second panel is 1, 2, 3, 5 lines. No, I have to go for more than 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to need just over here on the church. Lettering on a different plane. Whenever there are whenever there are groupings of word balloons, different people, I like to have the seconds offset from the first. You see the bottom line of silly is actually right in the center of that particular, the original of the word balloon. Why? It's just the style. All right. Tell you what, before we put the lettering in the first panel, why don't we establish the kitchen shop? We'll put Felicia in the scene, so let's bring this down to about her height. So our vanishing point. almost 2/3 of the way across would be the edge of the counter. And this is the counter island where the sink is. Be sure to make it shorter than I made it over here, so the characters aren't towering over it or behind it. Or the kick plate. And I didn't have room for the trash barrel in the other one. I started drawing it, but that was in the way. Okay, let's not forget the countertop here overhangs the bar stools, which may not become important. You won't decide character placement until you get the background established. And that feels about right. A double sink base.
Does the speaker pick up on me when I go there?
I don't know.
Oh. I just was gonna put it on my mom. No.
All right, and now countertops use that vanishing point. The turn where the toaster oven is, and refrigerator on this wall. Sometimes the coffee maker's back there. They have a Keurig machine. Two 8-inch base cabinets. And above them, there'll be cabinets there. You use the ones underneath it as a guide as they line up. Well, the height would be about here. Again, we're using this line, this finishing point. Further. There. No, it feels straight. That's too thick. Let's try again. And since our viewpoint is so low, we're looking up at this cabinet. We get to see the bottom of this cabinet. So I got to draw them in this cabinet. About right, tight. And with that line, that's the wall. And forget this little backsplash detail. Now, how big are these cabinets? Right there. Bingo. There we go. Let's not forget to carry on the wall above the cabinets. Now I can either put the dialogue here and reserve everything we've drawn here, or just put dialogue right over it. Doesn't matter. Who cares? I might do that. Got the dialogue here and reserve that. But that's what you can see. I'll draw on the kitchen. There will be a window back there, and it also works off the top of it. Will work on that because when it's playing, it's that vanishing point. You know, the top of the window is a little bit higher than the others, not much. And we also know that there's a dining room table here, but you're just going to see the back of the chair. And the bar stool. Just peeking out there. Okay, so we got the world established. Oh. I originally wanted to have Bo standing at the sink, trash barrel. And the trash barrel, more or less, makes it so I didn't even have to walk drawing half of that stool or the chair behind. But oh well, put bottles in the trash barrel, box, trash is full as usual. Okay, I think that window might be a little large. What do you think?
Looks okay.
Yeah, a little large. Do the blinds, Venetian blinds. I usually like to have them slightly shoveled, but that's unnecessary background work to have them. Mostly pulled down. And this is the control rod. Yeah, I'll call it a day at that. Draw the actual frames to the window. And nothing else is seen beyond. And somewhere in here there is the sink, so we have the faucet. All right, now I'm drawing the cabinet handles. I'll have to think about where the characters are going to be placed in the world. Where the character placement? I originally wanted to set Bo at the sink here. Get his feet underneath the kick plate. He'll be leaned slightly over the sink. And there's his head. Now you can see why it's probably a really great idea that I laid out the characters, because remember how much space that lettering took almost. Yeah, that lettering took a lot of space. Might fit it in. And the other round it disappears back there, but it's there. Let's put Felicia back here. She's just witness to what's going on here. And may or may not be a little offended. I can't tell. We'll put the speaker here on the TV. Got a slight bend to his legs when he talks. And look at how the half of the garbage just disappeared on Gino. Yellow sleeve shirt, collar, comes down, and what do you think? He's eating. Line. It's called. Well, actually, I have here. Test. I originally had him go. Talk to husband. He pulled his hands out here. He's imparting a bit of important information that you need to know. You have to grasp this concept that for he's got his hands out here. Hemisphere there looks nose, mustache, mouth, eyes, earring. And nose at the kind of nonplussed by it. Put his eyes half closed, taking this in. Chin, and we got him in a collared shirt. This is the one where we had his sleeves rolled up. So yeah, since I think this sleeve rolled up, we'll do the rolled up sleeve bow. All right, let's get to reading now. Usually I do the lettering first, but since lettering was a big problem in the last one, solve it by doing it first. Now I know it's in two lines, and since we already did it here, we can measure. This is a 2.5/8, so it is 2.5/8. We go all the way to the talking plaza of Gandhi. We'll go right to that wall here. Okay. It'll fit. Do this to guide the slant a letter. Use a 2.5 degree slant on the letter. You can see. Actually, you probably can't see that. If I done this on the guide, you'd actually be able to make 22.5 inches, but I don't necessary that I move. I'm actually using. But anyway, your mouth is cartoon boy. Is that wide? So starts right there. S O P L A S M A G H O N D I, and it fits perfectly. Now I wanted to center. Let's center its call, so we know that probably we should start at the X. In the old days, I would type out the letter using sans MS print that out, do a light box, and trace the letter. That way I can get it perfectly centered. Early forms. Yeah, that would be also check my spell check. Do it for here now. And from failure to success. Well, we're approaching that time again. Thank you for
wow, it's been almost 3 hours.
thank you for visiting. Thank you for visiting with me this afternoon. Remember,
So,
why are we doing this?
to make you happy.
To make me. That's right.
Make me happy.
And I'm a happy man. 17 years of happy marriage.
Almost, exactly.
When did we get married? What time of the day? It was like,
It was early,
oh, it was?
like 11 a.m.
Uh,
It was on a Sunday, too.
Right, when does that?
For a couple of different reasons.
Ah.
I chose it to make that joke, but I chose it for reasons.
For joining us, and now end the broadcast.
Goodbye.